Dear Florida, to our Department of Health, to Philip Kimball, and of course to Ron DeSantis. I come to you tonight because I have a bone to pick with the state. To begin, let's talk about how the Florida medical marijuana system is set up here. First, you have to pay the state $75 every 365 days for your medical marijuana card. That money goes to the state. Then you have to see a doctor every 7 months to get your allotment renewed. Now, the prices that the doctor can charge are between you and the doctor. There's no regulated amount. It can be between $0 and $500. So on average, though, it breaks down to be about $150 every 7 months. So $300 every 7 months plus the $75. So $375 for basically 14 months of medical marijuana use here in the state of Florida, and that doesn't even get you any cannabis. Now, Florida has put many regulations on cannabis. One of the biggest being is that you can only get 2.5 ounces every 35 days. They also have tried and failed several times to cap the THC limit at 10%, which is absolutely ridiculous and shows that they have no consideration for the patients who, if you know anything about cannabis, at 10% THC, unless the terpenes are super fire, and if we're not doing science here, it's not gonna be the magic that we need when we want our medical marijuana. A new rule was put in place earlier this year, and it was set up to basically regulate how much you could get of your 2.5 ounces every 35 days. So I'm going to try to explain this to you because I'm still very confused on it, and I've had people at dispensaries trying to explain it to me, and it still doesn't make any sense. I've read the actual documentation. None of it makes sense to me. So in 35 days, you get 2.5 ounces. If during for example, the second week of that 35 days, you get a half ounce. You don't actually get that half ounce back for 35 days after the date that you purchased it. If you're not confused, try telling that to a bunch of stoners and try to figure out how they're gonna fucking regulate it. It makes no sense. The dispensary workers don't understand it. They don't understand how to explain it. When I renewed my card a couple months ago, I asked the guy, is this gonna affect me? He said, as long as you don't wait till the last day to purchase your cannabis, it's not going to affect you at all. Well, today, that was proven wrong because I ran into an issue. I went to the dispensary today and I knew that I had an ounce available to myself from my 2.5 ounces. So I go in there ready to purchase an ounce, and the girl says, well, you can only get a half ounce. Well, you can see here it says I have an ounce available. She says, yeah, but the dispensing amount is only a half an ounce. The manager comes over and tries to explain basically what I just explained to you. Whatever date you purchase that on, that's the actual rollover date of the 35 days, not the actual day of the allotment, which makes no sense. Most patients like myself wait for sales. That way you can go and you can get the product that you want at a discounted price because it is so expensive. This is not possible with the way that they've set this whole thing up. And for somebody like myself who has extreme anxiety, I'm obsessive compulsive, and when my mind starts going, it doesn't stop. If I can't have something to medicate myself with, I'm going to go back to taking Xanax. I'm going to go back to taking Valium. And I would so much rather treat my anxiety naturally. I've been off pills for 2 years. I haven't taken any anti-anxiety medication other than cannabis for 2 years. But now, you guys are gonna stop me and I'm not gonna be able to get my medication, having more anxiety to having more issues that I don't need to deal with. I don't think that a lawyer and former naval officer is qualified to be running our medical marijuana registry. Ron DeSantis, Philip Kimball, neither one of you should be in charge of what me and my doctor decide is best for my health. And I think it's a very unfair and unsafe thing to do. We need change here in Florida. We need better rules and regulations when it comes to cannabis. And we need somebody in charge who actually understands that.